All right, we are now live. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, I'm going to be walking you through 5 ways to stop rejection from destroying your confidence. Look, I've been there before. I know what it's like. Constantly getting rejected over and over and over by people you like or people you want to talk to can totally destroy your confidence. But today I want to talk about how you can disassociate the feeling of failure from rejection from building up your confidence and still believing in yourself despite constantly dealing with rejection over and over. Now, before I get into those points though, I want to give shout outs to our early birds in the chat. Those are the people that are here right at the beginning, people who are there at the very start. So if you're someone that's jumping on and watching this live stream, jump into the chat right now, say hi, and I will give you guys your due shout outs. Let's see who we got in here. Okay, cool. Let me unpin this merchandise thing that I put up there. All right, who we got here? Ravage for Savage. Hamish is in here. Cheesy. Caleb. Grayson. Phoenix says, here we go. Sup, Josh? How you doing, Phoenix? Young Boy J. Lit Tissue Box. Trenton Tharp. Music Man. Adrian Ote Lero. Saeed Majid. Red Shadow Cloak. Stuart Douglas. Stuart, good to see you, man. SCXTT, Scott is in here. T&Z, hey, how you doing, Ty? Austin is in here. Epic Ender, Nigel Williams, Life of Alex, Jonathan Pachok, Gavin Nutting, Mohammed Salah Krush, Awais Raymond, Giselle Vega, always a pleasure to have you in here, Giselle. Edgar Vass, Killbox, Forrest Vayner, Jake Healy, Christian J. Soto, Dono the Gamer. Dono, always great to see you in here, man. Familiar face that I love saying hi to. Zachlin Vasavella. Zachlin, what is up? Awab Kamdar. Life of Alex. Dave Video Studio. How's it going, Dave Video? I love your animations on Instagram. Keep up the good work, man. Ryan Razon. Let's see. Anzedge is in here. So we got a good mix of people in here. A good crowd to work with. Good people to talk to. And guys, here's what I want you to do. Now, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video, but this is going to be a super interactive stream. As I walk you through dealing with rejection and talking about these points, I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your stories. So feel free to jump into the chat and ask questions, to share what's going on in your life, to address something that I talk about that you feel resonates with you. Be super vocal. I love hearing from you guys and getting feedback. Now, look, to be realistic, I can't get to every single person. I can't answer every single question. So if you have a burning question, something that's on your mind that you 100% need to ask me, you need to get my opinion on something, you just want to say hi, you want to support the channel, you can always use the super chat function right over there. It's a little $ down there as you're chatting. You could donate $1, $2. Your super chat will pop up right in front of me. I will stop what I'm doing, stop what I'm talking about, and answer your question directly. So without further ado, let's start moving into the points here, guys. I want to talk about dealing with rejection here and how to not allow it to affect your confidence. Look, this is something that I struggle with for the longest time. Back when I was younger and there were girls that I liked, and once I felt like they didn't like me back, once I felt like, that ship has sailed, they see me as a friend, they're just not interested in me, my confidence just shot down to the ground. I just felt like, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not good looking enough. Maybe I'm not fun enough. Maybe I'm just an awkward person. All these negative thoughts started rushing into my mind just because I was dealing with rejection from other people, right? So before I get into the point though, I do want to do a quick chat poll question here. I want to get your guys' opinion, right? Yes or no in the chat. Have you ever been rejected before? I guess we'll start with that easy question. Have you ever been rejected by someone before? Whether it's a crush, whether it's maybe you're in a relationship and you got rejected by your boyfriend or girlfriend, they broke up with you. Maybe you tried to make friends with someone and they just didn't want to really be your friend. Have you ever been rejected before? Jump into the chat, write yes or no. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to know where we all stand. For me, the answer is a hard yes. I've been rejected in all those categories that I mentioned. So I do want to kind of cover these topics. I'm hoping by the end of it that you guys can feel more confident in who you are and just really believe in yourself a whole lot more. Looking through the chat here, let's see. Lit Tissue Box says yes. Hamish says yes. Red Shadow Cloak, yes. Trenton, yes. Caleb, I've been rejected twice before. Epic Ender says yes. Grayson says yes. Nigel, yes. Zachlin, yes. Killbox, yes. Young Boy says no. Young Boy's never been rejected. That's cool. That's good, Young Boy. Ashley says yes. Jalen says yep. Ty says yikes. Dono says no. Dono's never been rejected. Emma says yes. Hamish says I rejected my horrible ex. She was violent AF. I hear you on that, man. I understand, Hamish. Red Shadow Cloak says yep. Jake says yes. Not horribly though. That's okay. Look, sometimes rejections can be soft and just, not so, I think hurtful to you that you can just be like, oh, that kind of sucked and move on. We all experience rejection in different ways. Jesus says, nope, I'm lucky that I get asked rather than asking others. I have to reject others. I hear you on that, man. I understand where you're coming from. So yeah, so it sounds like a mixed bag. A lot of you guys have dealt with rejection and some of you haven't. But leading into the very first point here, let's talk about this, guys. The reason why someone would reject you, the reason why someone feels like they don't want to go out with you is because your values just don't align with theirs. Maybe there's something that you like to do. Maybe you have hobbies or interests. Maybe you are more of a wild, crazy person and that person's more calm and reserved. Maybe they like sports and you're not a big sports person. Either way, people reject people all the time. It's a common thing that happens, right? At the end of the day, what we're all looking for is someone that we can align with, someone that can make us laugh, someone we feel comfortable with, someone we want to open up to, someone we have things in common with. All these different factors and qualities play into whether or not we want to pursue a romantic relationship with someone, right? Looks being one of the more obvious one, right? If you're attracted to someone, that's usually a good indication. But instead of looking at rejection like, wow, this person doesn't like me. This person thinks I'm bad, I'm stupid, I'm not funny, I'm ugly. Instead of thinking in those lines, we can shift our thinking to realize, hey, you know what? That person's values, what they're looking for, just isn't what I bring to the table. I bring something different. I bring my own unique experience. I bring myself to the table. And just because the values that they're looking for don't align with what you bring to the table doesn't mean that you're bad or wrong or just suck. It just means that the two of you aren't on that same page. And I know that's hard to think sometimes because when you like someone, when you have a crush on someone, you tend to focus a lot on, wow, they're so perfect and they're so awesome and they're so good looking and they're so sweet. But have you really gotten to know them to the point to see whether or not the two of you really do connect? Have you spent time talking to them, learning about them, seeing where you guys overlap? Have you built that romantic connection by flirting with them and joking with them? A lot of times, like I said, that attraction is built on just the physical, what we see, and we like what we see. And we don't really dedicate the time it takes to really see, hey, you know what? Yeah, they're really pretty, but they're kind of a flaky person. They're not, someone that gets back on time. And I don't really like that. That's not one of my values. I'm someone that likes to be responsive and likes to know that when I message someone, they'll message me back. Or, hey, you know what? I'm a very active person. I like watching sports. I like being physically active. I like going for walks and hiking. And this person just isn't about that life. So if we got together, would we clash on that? Would that be something that would kind of hold us back? This is what I was saying, guys. When we talk about rejection not interfering with your level of confidence, you have to recognize that what you bring to the table it encompasses everything that you are, your hobbies, your interests, the things that make you unique and special. And just because you encounter someone that doesn't connect with that, it's not their vibe, it's not what they're looking for, doesn't mean that you're bad. So it's important to recognize you can be confident in who you are and still encounter that rejection because, like I said on that first point, guys, your values just don't align with theirs. And that's okay. That happens sometimes. It's okay to realize that, hey, you know what? We don't see eye to eye. I can move on. I can talk to other people. That's it. Now, I want to jump in and get your guys' opinion on this, guys. I want to know what you guys think. When we're talking about your values aligning with your crush, I think it's important first. Let's do a quick chat poll here. It's not so much yes or no, but I want to get your guys' opinion on this. What are some of the values that you're looking for in a partner? What are some of the qualities that you want that person to have? Maybe you want them to be easygoing or smart, or you want them to be really pretty. What are some of the things that you're looking for? Because once you can understand what you're looking for in a partner, it's easy to then recognize, hey, you know what? That person has their own list and their own criteria, and I don't happen to meet enough of them for them to want to date me. And that's okay. Because we all have our lists and we compare and say, hey, this person maybe isn't as tall as I want them to be. This person isn't as determined or driven. think about what your list is. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Jump into the chat now and tell me what are some of the values and qualities you're looking for in a partner. Okay, I want to hear what you guys had to say. Reading through right now, let's see. Red Shadow Cloak says, I want them to be nice and funny. Yeah, I think humor and kindness are two very important traits to look for in someone. Lilt Tissue Box. I kept bringing that as an F. For someone to be relaxed and super chill, the body and looks come second. Yeah, I hear you on that. SCXXT said, I feel like my boyfriend had some different interests and values. I tried to open up to their interests and try to understand their values so we didn't clash. Yeah, that's another piece too. Understanding someone's values can really help you kind of get a better understanding of how you guys are going to kind of build. Sometimes you get into a relationship with someone and you realize later on down the line, we don't really see eye to eye. But that's something you have to learn as you learn more about that person. All right, let's see. Ryan Raisin said, funny, hopefully plays video games, attractive. Young Boy says, good humor, smart, most definitely be pretty. Clickfire says, someone who laughs at my jokes. Jonathan says, smart, but my crush is really smart like me. That's awesome. Stuart says, I don't look for any qualities. I just want us to love each other 100%. 100% unconditionally. Stuart, I get where you're coming from on that. So maybe the quality that you're looking for is reciprocation. You want someone to reciprocate the feelings that you bring to the table, right? So for example, if you bring kindness and ease to the table, you hope that they bring that back, right? That'll help create that 100% unconditional love that you experience. Hamish says, someone who respects my autism. Totally, Hamish, I get that. Young Boy says, humor. Killbox, smart and good looking, love me for who I am. I love that answer too. Ravage says, open to change, athletic, someone who's willing to bond together and grow together, one who is smart, logical, and understands life. Yeah, as I'm reading through this, guys, I think that, look, guys, read through everyone else's answers in the chat here too, because I think there's a lot of overlap in what you guys are saying. A lot of you are looking for people who are easygoing, who are understanding, and who are attractive for the most part, right? Those are kind of some of the general qualities that we do want to have in a partner. So if that person feels like their values don't align with you, then it's possible that maybe they're not looking for those things. If you feel you bring to the table ease and comfort and humor and you're a decent looking person, but they just don't want to date you, then maybe that's not what they're looking for. Or maybe you meet some of the values, but not all of them. And like I said, people's values change, they evolve. People maybe want one thing one day, may want a different thing another next, but in order to make sure your confidence isn't attached to them rejecting you, the best thing is to, like I said, really, really recognize that, hey, you know what? If they don't like me, then that just means that I'm not the type of person that they're looking for right now. Maybe they're looking for someone else. And I think when you could start to think along those lines rather than, wow, you know what? I suck. I'm not good enough, because you are good enough. What you bring to the table is good enough. It's just not what they're looking for. So I really wanted to drive that point home because I think it's important. It's a small little mindset change, but it makes a huge, huge difference in how you look at getting rejected by that person, how you look at their actions, and you start to, where you reflect it. Instead of reflecting on the inside and saying, I suck, you're reflecting and say, hey, that's what they think, not what I am. So I want to jump in and answer any more questions you guys have before I move on to the second point here, because I think it's incredibly important to really think about that. Think about what you want in a partner. Jalen said, Mexican Hispanic girl, smart and kind. Awesome. Ty says, look to find a smart, nice, pretty girl. She should be responsible and caring. Yeah, I hear you on that. I Want to Destroy Generic Lift says, rejection sounds so embarrassing. Yeah, it can be pretty embarrassing. Okay, now I think it should be going through again. Oh, yeah. All right. We should be back. Hopefully, okay. All right. I think we're back in order here. Sorry about that, guys. I realized that I didn't change my Wi-Fi to the 5G, and it was streaming on the 2G, which is kind of the extender I have here. And yeah, it just somehow went straight to 0. But we should be back now. Should be good to go. All right, cool. All right, let's move back, guys, to the point that I was making there. I was talking to you guys and asking you guys about, how you can kind of reframe how you see that level of rejection. Yeah, the internet has been pretty bad. All right, good. No lag now. Cool. Okay, so I want to move on to the second point here, guys, because this is also another interesting thing to talk about here. Let's get to the second point now. Number 2, when we're talking about why someone rejects you, right? Like we talked about, okay, maybe they have different values from you. They're looking for something different than maybe what you bring to the table. And that's okay, because that happens, right? We all have our interests and the things that we're looking for and the qualities we want to find and see in another person. So, again, why is it going? Why is this stream? What the heck, man? Okay, I don't know what's going on with the internet. Sorry about that, guys. This is not good. Why is YouTube screwing me like this, guys? What is wrong with this? If it's still streaming, guys, I apologize. I don't know what's going on. It was working fine, and now it's being all silly. Why is it doing this? Okay, think it's going to come back now. Okay, I think we're back now, hopefully. Okay, stream is back now. So hopefully, let me put it back on the main thing here so that you guys can see. I could check to see if it's working. Kind of works. Yeah, what the heck, man? Yeah, I'm behind the scenes here. Why is it doing this? This is crazy. I'm going to take a quick water break. Man. All right. I'm just going to keep trying to move forward here. Hopefully it doesn't crap out again. Sorry about that, guys. I got to really see what's going on and fix that. Anyway, we were on point number 2 here. Let's jump back to point number 2. Point number 2 is this. When a person decides to reject you, when they decide, hey, I don't really like you, I see you as a friend, you're not someone I want to date, however they choose to go about doing it, a lot of times we internalize what they say, right? Like I said before, we internalize it, we take it as we're bad, we're not good enough. But people sometimes reject others because they themselves are afraid or unsure about where things are going, or maybe don't know how to handle the situation. So a lot of times we beat ourselves up thinking we're not good enough, we are the mistake, we're the problem, when in reality, that person just may not feel like they are ready for a relationship, or they may not feel like they know what to do in a situation where the two of you can talk and date and get to know each other better. We always assume that our crushes have it all together, they know what's going on, They're just sitting there waiting for us to ask them out. But in reality, a lot of times when you approach someone confidently and you're talking to them confidently, they may feel a bit intimidated or nervous or scared. And that's a normal response to have sometimes. So if you are talking to your crush and your crush says, oh, I'm not really ready for a relationship, or I don't really want to date anyone now, or oh, I don't really know how to respond with you telling me how you feel. If any of those type of things are the responses and you feel like you've been rejected by them, well, then in that situation, it's important to recognize, hey, you know what? They may just not be ready to date, and that's okay. Now, look, it takes a bit of I guess it takes a bit of like kind of investigation on your part. You have to kind of really think about it, because sometimes people may reject you because they're not interested, right? They may say, hey, look, I'm not interested in you. I'm flattered that you like me, but I'm not interested in dating. And that might be their honest, actual answer. But then other times they may say they're not interested in dating you because they don't really know you all that well. So what I would really recommend doing is this, that if you do approach someone and you do ask them out, and they kind of give you this more softer rejection. Oh, I'm not really ready to date. I don't really know. Spend time getting to know them, right? This is going to be the kind of the way through that. Because if you want to kind of get their honest answer, right, but they haven't really told you flat out that they don't like you, they don't want to date you, but they've kind of give you more of those wishy-washy, hard to figure out ones, it's incredibly important to think about how you can take time to get to know them better, because as you get to know them better, you'll actually see where they stand. Now, let's assume someone tells you, oh, I'm not really looking for a boyfriend right now. I'm not really looking to date. You might want to say to them, oh, that's cool. Listen, I just want to get to know you better. I want to know more about you. I want to see if we click. And let's say you tell them that, you ask them to hang out, and they say, I'm really not interested. That might hurt. That might feel like your confidence is shot. You put yourself out there, you tried your best, and you got rejected. But like I said, we're talking about flipping that switch in your mind, about observing their responses differently. A lot of this comes from empathizing and thinking about where that person's coming from, thinking about what their experience is like, which is something that's hard for us to do when we were on the receiving end of getting rejected. It's hard sometimes to think, well, what is that person thinking? Why did they choose to reject me? What did I do in this situation? What could have been done differently? Reflecting on those things is going to allow you to kind of realize, hey, you know what? Maybe they were nervous. Maybe they were unsure. Maybe they're not really ready for a relationship. Don't always assume that you're the problem, that you've done something wrong, right? Really try to understand where they're coming from, because if you understand where they're coming from, you can start to see where their real feelings lie. And once you start to understand their real feelings, it allows you to kind of interact with them in a way that's not hostile or angry or hurt, but in a way that's sympathetic and understanding. So I want to jump in and see what some of you guys are saying here. I want to get a chat poll going. Thank you guys for bearing with me through all the crazy internet drops. Literally, I just see it in OBS. It goes from like 2,700 kilobytes per second to like 0. And it's like, why? I don't get it. I didn't change or do anything differently. But anyway, we're here, we're back. So I want to get your guys' opinion on something. We'll do a chat poll. I want to know where you guys stand on this, that if you've ever been rejected before, if you've ever been rejected by a girl or a guy that you like, what do you think their reason for rejecting you is? Not the reason you beat yourself up about, but what do you think their honest reason is? Do you think they were ready for a relationship? Do you think that maybe they felt like you didn't meet the qualities of what they were looking for? What do you think their honest reason was for rejecting you in that moment? Do you feel like maybe you might have come off and made them feel uncomfortable and they didn't know how to handle the situation? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I know, looking back at myself, when I think back to the girl, I told the story in my YouTube videos before, like the girl that friend-zoned me in high school, like the reason why I got rejected by her is because I didn't come off confident and I wasn't secure in my feelings for her. I was very hidden. I kept them very to myself. I played it too friend zone, and I know that's why I got rejected, because she didn't feel that level of attraction for me because I didn't demonstrate it. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see. ABC Noodle says, wow, my crush flat out said I was ugly. Yeah, let's talk about the ABC Noodles. Sometimes people are just going to be blunt with you, and they're going to say exactly how they feel. And you got to look at it like this. Just because she sees you as ugly, or she doesn't think you're an attractive person, that's her opinion. You should never kind of look at that as you are universally ugly. And that's a point I'm going to make later on as I go through the points, guys. But it's like hearing things like that can sting and they can stick with us. And the only way to kind of move forward from them is to realize, hey, you know what? She has her own level of attraction that she's looking for, and I just don't meet it. Whatever that is for her, that's not something I meet. Let's see. Jalen says boyfriend is the reason. Yeah, Jalen, I hear you on that. If the girl you like has a boyfriend, yeah, then that's a straight up reason why she wouldn't probably want to date. Ryan Raisin said, saw me as more of a friend, and also I'm too short. Interesting. Yeah. So like sometimes we build up a friendship with that person and it's hard for them to see us as anything more because they've gotten so used to us being their friend. So for example, when you then ask them out and you say, hey, I have feelings for you, it feels like it came out of nowhere for them. It kind of throws them off a bit and they don't know how to always handle it. So they just kind of tell you, I only see as a friend. I can't imagine anything else. Epic Ender says, Josh, I don't know if it was rejecting or accepting. Stuart says, couldn't say. I thought we clicked, but from what I heard, she liked someone else. Yeah, look, sometimes people have feelings for multiple people at once, and they just don't know who to pick or who to lean in towards. So they kind of just push whoever they can away because they don't know what to do. Rage Master says, an abusive relationship. Yeah, Rage, I'm sorry to hear about that. My crush had a bad relationship. Yeah, look, sometimes people are with partners that are bad for them. And it's hard for them to see that because they feel so invested in that relationship that they can't always imagine leaving and doing their own thing. Forrest says, because I have bad acne. Yeah, Forrest, I hear you on that. Look, having bad acne, I grew up with bad acne. I even have my own like acne pimples here going on because of all my allergies are killing me. But you know, in those situations, it's like sometimes there are things that exist that make us feel insecure about who we are. And it's like we sometimes think those are the reasons that are holding us back, right? Like, so if you have acne, you might say, oh, no one's going to like me because I have acne. But that doesn't specifically speak to anyone, right? Unless the girl you like says, I don't like you because I have acne. A lot of times we build that story in our head. It's important to not build that story, or not even just to not, but to catch ourselves when we do, to realize that we're doing that. Let's see. Clickfire says, one girl rejected me because she was friends with my ex and thought she would lose that friendship if she dated me. Yeah, look, Clickfire, that sounds like one of those tricky situations where you just really don't know. You don't know, you don't really know where to take it from there, right? Like, she doesn't want to ruin a friendship. She feels caught in the middle, so she kind of pulls herself back. That's what I'm kind of talking about here. It's like you got rejected in a situation without any kind of clear understanding. It wasn't a clear cut, hey, I'm just not attracted. It was, there are all these other factors that play in. And I think a lot of times there are multiple factors that play in. It isn't a single thing. It isn't because you're too short. It isn't because you have acne. It isn't because of a single thing. There's a lot of factors that play in. I mean, look, just think about for yourself. You like your crush and you may like multiple people, but for different reasons, right? So your interests are complicated and you know, there's context to it that helps build that story, and it's the same way for your crush. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Janie Butterfly says, thank you so much for this amazing video and your time sending your many blessings. Thank you so much, Jamie. I hope this video is helpful for you in some kind of way. I thank you guys for sticking through all the lag and stuff. Hopefully we're back on track. Things are going normal now. But I do want to jump in and say this, guys, that let's pull up the Discord here. Guys, for those of you that know, most of you know, but some of you don't, we have our own community, our own Josh Speaks community of just awesome, fun, engaging, and just supportive people. Ty is part of the community. Hamish is in there. Dono the Gamer's in there. Ravage for Savage. There's a lot of people on the live stream right now that are all part of our Discord channel that jump in, that ask questions, that share stories, that just are there to help people out. And what I really love about our Discord community is that it's just a very supportive place. If you have a question on your mind, if there's something you just want to vent about or talk about, it's a great place to kind of let out that steam and to hear other people's opinions and thoughts, to just be there by your side. So if you're looking for a place to spend your time while you're hanging out in quarantine, while you're on your phone, or you're just bored at home, our Discord channel is one of the best places to do that. So join the Discord, thejoshspeaks.com/Discord. I'd love to have you guys in there. It's just an awesome place to be in. Okay, let's move on to point number 3 now. I'm just reading through some of the comments here. Forrest says, I once got rejected 3 times by the same girl, but she told me she just wanted to be friends. But I never gave up until I realized she didn't want to be with me. Yeah, Forrest, I think you make a really good point there. Sometimes your crush may not be interested in you, but they'll tell you something. So they'll tell you something like, oh, we should just remain friends. Now for you, you might think, okay, cool, we'll stay friends. They stay in my life. I could still talk to them and interact with them. That's awesome. But the truth is that sometimes people will say, let's just be friends, when in reality, what they mean is, I know that you like me. I feel weird about letting you go, and I don't want to be mean about it. So it's up to you, Forrest, and anyone else that's in this situation to realize, hey, you know what? If I like this person, I need to decide. Do I want to just pretend to be friends and every time I see them talk to someone else, maybe feel a little jealous or feel hurt that I'm not with them? Do I want to have these moments where we connect only to realize that they don't want to date me? Or do I want to say, you know what? If I can't date you, it's too hard for me to just pretend to be friends. I'm going to go do my own thing. You have to make that decision for yourself. It's a tough one, but you have to decide what makes the most sense for you. Okay, let's jump back in. Let's move on to point number 3 here. Because I want to keep moving on with these points, guys. I hope these points are helpful. You know, before we get to point number 3, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video. Any new subscribers, anyone that donates, anyone that becomes a channel member is going to get listed over here. So hit the like button if you haven't already, guys, and let's move on to the next point number 3, which is this. We're talking about 5 ways to stop rejection from destroying your confidence, right? We're talking about rebuilding, keeping your confidence nice and strong and believing in yourself. And this is one of the important things you have to remember, guys. Their opinion isn't the only one that matters. Like, we were just talking here about how some crushes that you guys have had have told you that you're short, or you're ugly, or you have acne, or you're not good enough, or crushes have said the meanest things, and that can just really shoot down your confidence. But you have to remember this, guys. They're only one person. They're one person with one opinion. There are so many other people in your life and people that haven't even gotten to know you yet and like you that exist. So why do we put so much emphasis on this one person and their one opinion? Even if, for example, I'll play devil's advocate. Let's assume it's 3 crushes, 5 crushes. Phoenix asked where I find these stock images. There's a website called Pexels. There's also a website called Unsplash. And both of those have free stock images that you can use and things. So I just always jump in and use Pexels, Unsplash. I think they're really cool resources. But that's where I kind of get the stock images. So, we put so much emphasis on the opinions of just a few. A few girls rejected us. A few people didn't like us. And we forget that we have our friends, we have our family, we have our classmates, we have friends online that like us, that care about us, that think we're funny, that think we're awesome, that don't reject us or shoot us down because we're too short or because we aren't the most good-looking person. They accept us for who we are. So why do we put so much emphasis on this one person and their opinion? Well, I think it's a normal human psychological response, right? Let's say you're making a YouTube video and you make the video and you get 100 comments, but 5 of them are negative. 5 of them are like, this video sucks, your video sucked, you're dumb, but the rest of them are positive. We're going to focus in on those negative ones. We're going to look at the 100, the other positive ones and go, okay, that's nice, that feels good, but why? Why does that person hate me? Why does that person not like me? And that goes back to that point, guys. Look, their opinion isn't the only one that matters. Now, I want to jump back in and dive more into that point, but I do want to say, Hamish, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Hamish, what you talked about here is a tough situation, so let's dive into that there. Hamish said, my ex beat me up for 2 years. I'm glad we broke it up. Hamish donated that burning question here. Let's pull it up there. Hamish said, my ex beat me up for 2 years. I'm glad we broke up. Hamish, yeah, here's the thing, guys, and I think that Hamish brings up a good point. If any of you guys are in a situation where the person that you like or the person that you're dating is verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, and what does that look like? Well, in my mind, that looks like they're people that aren't supportive of you. They're people that tear you down, people that try to belittle you and make you feel lesser than you are. And look, sometimes we get into relationships with people and we don't even realize that they do these things. It just becomes part of the experience, right? Maybe they just criticize you every time you try to do something new, or they just keep putting you down, and you tell them, I don't like that. I don't want it to be spoken to like that, but they keep doing it. So it's important to recognize when you're in a situation like that, an abusive situation. And look, this happens sometimes when people have crushes. You may like someone, but they're just really rude to you, but you like them. So you kind of let them get away with it. You kind of let them do it because your feelings take precedence over how you feel they should treat you. So don't allow that to happen. Hamish, thank you for bringing this point up, and thank you for the £2 super chat. It's incredibly important, guys. Incredibly important to be your own advocate, to stand up for yourself, and to not let someone else put you in a situation that makes you feel uncomfortable or bad about who you are. Now, I want to keep going into that third point, guys. I keep bringing it up because I keep wanting to say it. Their opinion isn't the only one that matters. Now, like I said, you have so many people in your life that do care about you, that do support you, that do want to see you succeed. And look, if you don't really have a lot of friends or your family's not supportive, I'm here for you. I'm here to talk to you. I'm here to help you out. I'm here to be there to kind of walk you through what you're going through. So I try my best to do that, guys. I try to answer DMs. I try to jump into the Discord and talk to people. I do it through Patreon. I do it through a bunch of different places. But like I said, you need to just really, really recognize, hey, you know what? That person, that crush, that girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, they don't like me because of XYZ. They don't like me because of this thing. They're just one person. I can go and find more people that I can talk to that will like me for who I am. So when we're talking about not letting rejection destroy your confidence, don't put so much emphasis and your attention on one girl or one guy that you like. Recognize that, hey, you know what? They have their own opinions, their own feelings about things. They may not bode well with me, but I'm going to go find other people. I'm going to go explore and talk to other people, because this is an important thing, guys. Sometimes we chase one person and we just really want their approval. We really want them to like us, and we're willing to do anything to get that. But once you start to realize, whoa, wait a second, I don't have to be a follower for that person. I don't have to do whatever they say. Your mind starts to open up. You start to realize that there are opportunities out there for you to pursue new people. They're all around. People in your class, people that live outside, people online. There's all these different opportunities to pursue other people. So don't limit yourself to one person. I want to jump in and see what some of you guys are saying before I do a chat poll here. But let's see what you guys are saying. NS Fan says, I've been friends with mine for 4 years, and I don't think it's gone anywhere. Yeah, look, sometimes if you're friends with someone for so long, it's hard to then transition to a relationship because they've gotten to know you as a friend, and trying to turn it into something else means potentially losing that friendship, which is hard for people. Anthony Perez says there's a film called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Great movie. And book too. There's a quote in it that says, we tend to accept the love we think we deserve. Absolutely, Anthony. Absolutely. Look. Sorry. Let's take a water break. We do tend to accept the love we think we deserve. If we feel like we're not good enough, we'll bring people into our life that make us feel that way and treat us that way. Hamish says, Josh is like a brother. He's someone you can always look up to. Thank you, Hamish. I'm happy I could be here to help. Rage Master says, I like you just the way you are. Where is it? It's this one right here. This Mr. Rogers poster. I tilt the camera, but it's all set up on a tripod and I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, guys, I like you just the way you are. You know, like what you bring to the table. And just because you encounter someone that doesn't mean that they're right. Doesn't mean that they have the right outlook on things. It's just their opinion. So you can maintain your level of confidence knowing that one person's opinion should not dictate how you live your life. All right, let's get a chat poll going. I want to hear what you guys have to say on this, guys. I want to know your guys' opinion. Has your crush ever said something to you to make you feel like you weren't good enough? That you weren't worthy of dating, or you weren't worthy of talking to? Have they ever kind of said something that just got under your skin and made you feel bad about who you were? I've been in that situation before. I know what it's like. I remember it back in high school. A lot of my experience was in high school, but there was a girl I really, really liked, and she was somewhat popular. And you know, I had these small little opportunities to talk to her in class or a school project, stuff like that. Small opportunities, but sometimes she would say things like, oh, Josh, you're so quiet. I don't know, it just makes you weird. And like when I would hear that, it would really hurt my feelings. I'd feel like, am I weird? Do I suck? am I not good enough? And it took me a while to realize, hey, you know what? That's just her specific perspective. That's not an outlook on how I live my life or how everyone in the world perceives me. Because there are lots of people that are my friends and that care about me and that like me. So I asked you guys, Harry, always a pleasure to have you. Harry, good to see you in here again, man. So I asked you guys, has your crush ever said something like that to you? OG Pressure says yes. Harry says no. Anthony says no. Phoenix, nah. Yancey, no. Grayson says no, they haven't, and I'm glad. That's a good thing. Look, all the no's is a good thing, guys. Ravi says, which crush are we talking about? That's a good point. A-Gamer says never had a crush. Liam says no. Jalen says no. Trenton says yes, but I've gotten over it and now I feel like a good person. I hear you on that. Modern Bro says yes, sadly. Clickfire, Josh, are you dating anyone right now? I'm I am, not currently, but I am married. So I made a video all about it if you're interested in checking that out. Just search married or something on my channel. It should pop up. Josh do a 24-hour live stream. 24-hour live stream would be pretty crazy. I'm trying to actually figure out how people do streams for 24 hours. But I got to figure that out. Because I want to do probably like meditation streams and stuff. Like I said, I talked about a separate channel that I'm thinking about working on. But we'll see what happens. Music Man says, Josh, this was a great live stream, but I have to go. Have a great day. No problem, Music Man. Look, for any of you guys that maybe you have to go, maybe you're over there across the pond and it's too late, I put the replay up. I always put up timestamps as well so you can jump around and see what specific questions we're talking about. A Gamer says, Josh, how old are you? I am 31, I think. I always forget when people put me on the spot and ask my age. So I always recommend go to famousbirthdays.com and look it up there because that always says my birthday. That's how I always figure it out. Okay, let's jump into point number 4 here. Stuart made a good point. No, I'll never let anyone belittle my personality and being. That's awesome, Stuart. That's what I mean, guys. If you feel like someone's coming down on you and tearing you down for who you are, recognize that you're worth way more than that. And if it's someone that you like, and if you feel like they're speaking to you or treating you in a way that you don't like, you don't have to stand by their side. You don't have to pursue them. Okay, point number 4 here is this, guys. We're talking about stopping rejection from destroying your confidence. And this is something I think each of us can learn from. Rejection creates an opportunity for reflection. I want us to look at rejection. I want you to look at rejection not as a sense of failure, not as a sense of not being good enough, but as a moment to reflect and to think about what went wrong. What could you do differently? What were you missing from that equation? What's something you can improve? The moment we could start looking at our mistakes or things that don't work out as opportunities for us to learn and grow, the sooner we can recognize that, you know what? Just because I made a mistake, just because I, came off weird to that crush, or just because I, was awkward around them, that doesn't mean that I should just give up entirely, right? This is something that I'm going to talk about a little bit more in next week's video when I talk about the black pill guys. Some of you guys know what that is. Some of you were a bit confused, didn't really know. The black pill philosophy, just in short, is... Oh, I hit the mic. The black pill philosophy, in short, basically is that women are programmed to only seek out men that are rich, have status, have money, and that's all they want, and that women are out there to use guys, and that if you're not someone who's popular and rich and tall and all these things, if you don't have those qualities, then you are worthless, you're never going to accomplish anything, you should just give up. And it's kind of like this extreme level of just giving up on life. That's where the black pill kind of leads you. So when we talk about rejection is an opportunity for reflection, I feel like a lot of times people in that community that have already accepted that they suck are not allowing themselves to reflect properly. They're not allowing themselves to say, you know what, maybe I made a mistake, or you know what, maybe I'm not thinking about the type of person I want to pursue and I'm just pursuing anyone, right? Like you might just see someone and think they're attractive and pursue them. They may not be the right type of person for you. They may not be the best partner for you, but a lot of times people just look at all those rejection moments. Oh, I got rejected by 10 people, 100 people, whatever it is. And they just, instead of reflecting and say, what can I do differently next time? You know what? Maybe I didn't joke around enough with them. Maybe I should have flirted more. Maybe I should have told them a little bit more about myself. Or maybe I should have asked them a little bit more about themselves. you have to really think about how you can reflect on each of those rejection opportunities, each of those rejection moments. Because if you don't reflect, you're going to keep making the same mistakes and hoping for a different outcome. And it's never going to work out. Phoenix said, yeah, I had a convo on the stream last week with someone who believed in the black pill. And look, and when it comes to the black pill, I'm open to hearing. I want to hear the stories and experiences. What I always encounter, though, is that whenever I talk to someone from the black pill community, they tend to speak in these generalities, right? It's almost like someone saying there is crime and war and violence in the world, and therefore there's no purpose in trying to help people. And you start to say to yourself, well, hold on, you're speaking in such these general things exist, war, violence, crime. So therefore, I can't make a difference. I can't change someone's life. Like, that's my issue mainly with the black pill. I talk more about it in the video on Tuesday, guys, but ultimately that's what I'm saying. Look at those moments of rejection as opportunities for reflection. So I want to jump in. I want to get a chat poll going here. Grayson saying, Josh, how do I become a member of the channel? That's a good point, Grayson. I'll bring it up here so you can see, and for anyone else. If any of you guys want to become a patron or a YouTube channel member, some of you guys may have seen at the end of my videos, I give a shout out to all the people that are donating and supporting the channel. They're all featured there. Also, tomorrow, this Friday, guys, at 3 p.m. my time, 3 p.m. Eastern my time, I'm going to be hosting our community live stream. So if you're someone that wants to join our small community, we have our Discord community, which is free and open. And then we have our small community chats with the people that are community members on either YouTube or Patreon. If you want to learn more about that, go to patreon.com/thejoshspeaks or click the little join button down below. And at the $5 level, the community level, you can jump in, join our monthly group chat calls. I also do one-on-one calls and check-ins with you guys to see how you're doing. So you can check out Patreon, check out the YouTube channel button there, and see how you can become a channel member there. You can learn more about the perks that come along with it. But yeah, Grayson, that's how you join. I would recommend, Grayson, talking to your parents first. For anyone too, if any of you guys are under the age of 18, talk to your parents first and see if they're okay with you becoming a channel member. Because I would not want any of you guys to sign up for it and then your parents are like, what is this? So highly recommend talking to your parents about it first. Okay. I want to destroy generic lift says, I don't like paying. Yeah, that's totally fine. I know some of you guys can't pay. So, I only set that up because it's like, it allows me to kind of dedicate specific time to people and I can talk to them, I can interact with them. But there are lots of free opportunities. The Discord is open and free. The YouTube live streams are open and free. The Instagram after parties are open and free. There's plenty of ways to still communicate with me if you don't have any way of getting into those smaller opportunities there. Okay, so I want to move on here. Did I say the fourth point? I think I did. I was going to do a chat poll. That's what I was going to do, guys. So that fourth point, just to bring it back up, was rejection creates an opportunity for reflection. So I'm going to task you. Oh, I got to get rid of those. That's from like 3 streams ago. I want to task you guys with this. Let's do a chat poll. I want to get your guys' opinion. When you think about in the past, the time that you've been rejected, what was something you learned from that experience? Or what was something you learned from someone turning you down or someone not wanting to pursue you? What was your kind of light bulb moment that you walked away going, you know what? I'm going to try something differently next time, or I'm going to talk to people differently. What was your light bulb learning moment? Like I said, for me, when I was friend zoned in high school by the girl I really, really liked, my light bulb kind of reflection moment was, you know what? I pretended to be her friend when all this time I liked her. And if I had just come off confidently and showed her that I liked her, I probably would have gone out with her. So that was my light bulb learning moment. I want to hear what some of your guys are too. I want to destroy generic list says it's my money and it's up to me who I join, not my parents. Yeah, that's totally fine. I was saying more so that I think that, look, if you have the means and you make the decision, decide for yourself. But I know sometimes there's also younger people that have to consult with their parents. So I'm just trying to make sure everyone's on the same page. Donna says, when my mom went to check the mail and saw your package for the book, she saw Love and Peace on the package and was like, what the hell? Did you join a cult? Donna, I didn't really think that through. I just thought it'd be fun. I'm like, oh, cool. All right, Love and Peace. It's a cool thing. But I guess you have a point, Donna. I didn't really think about that. Grayson says, yo, Josh, what would be the best approach when I meet my crush's parents for the first time? That's a good question. Grayson, if it comes to meeting your crush's parents for the first time, what you got to think about what the parents are going to be looking for. The parents are going to want to see that you are, one, going to be respectful towards their child, right? So like, you're kind to them, you're nice to them. They also want to see you're going to be respectful towards them. So if you do interact with those parents, I would look them in the eyes, shake their hands, introduce yourself. Hi, nice to meet you. What's your name? Oh, nice to meet you. Like, oh, I'm dating your daughter, or for anyone else, I'm dating your son, or I'm dating this person. Like, introduce yourself and then talk to them about who you are, because that's what the parents are going to be looking for. They're going to want to know more about you. Are you a good student? Do you have a big family? Are you close with your siblings? They're going to want to know those questions. So bring that up in conversation. I asked you guys that chat poll question. What was kind of one of your light bulb moments that you've experienced in getting rejected? And here's what you guys had to say. Noah says, I was desperate and my crush threatened me. It was a bad situation that happened 2 years ago. Ashley says, actually starting talking to that person, getting to know him. Jalen says, not give up with your hopes, even when you love someone, I guess. Modern Bro says, I just keep asking someone else after I get to know them. Trenton says, I was creepy in middle school, but I'm a sophomore in high school now, and I'm less creepy and more confident. That's awesome, Trenton. Hamish says, I'm going to try to not get into abusive relationship. That's my light bulb moment. Absolutely, Hamish. Look for partners that you feel will respect you. That's the key. Clickfire says, I think I was creepy. Epic Ender says, Josh, I told my crush I like her and I didn't get a definite answer. She said, oh, okay, it's good you got it's good you got the stress out, and I still don't know if she likes me or not. How do I find out? That's a good question. Honestly, Epic Ender, she kind of gave you one of those half answers where she doesn't really say what she feels. So I think the way around that is to ask her out. Ask her on a video date, right? Hey, we should video chat one time as a date and see how she responds there. Because if you're waiting for her to come back and say, by the way, I like you, it's not going to happen. You have to kind of now push the needle a little bit more to really discover where she stands. Clickfire says, since people always say that eye contact is good, in early middle school, I thought staring at girls would make them like me. Yeah, Clickfire, I hear you on that. Eye contact is an interesting thing, and I've talked about this in the past. There's 3 elements to eye contact that I think make it successful, and it's not just looking at someone. It's 3 parts of this. Eye contact, right? You look at them, you acknowledge that, you see them, they see you. But you also have to smile with it, because if you're just staring, it's weird. But if you look at them and smile, it makes it a little bit more tolerable. And then the third part is say hi, because if you're just sitting there going, that's weird. But if you're sitting there going, hey, how's it going? Then it's a little bit more easier for them to go, okay, this person's acknowledging me and talking to me, and there's that level of confidence in how they're doing it. So it's a learning experience. I get you. Dave Video says, what I learned in college was that I needed to have more self-confidence. I hear you on that, man. Self-confidence is something that you can build and work on as you get older. So hopefully the things we're talking about here are those steps forward. Emma says, life goal, work on my confidence to talk to people because I'm always shy. Emma, I hear you on that. Look, shyness is normal, right? We all experience it. We're afraid of how people are going to respond to us or what they're going to say or what to do. We kind of stumble over our words. And the best way to kind of move forward through that shyness is to really reflect on the small steps that we can take to get there. And because we're talking about shyness and feeling awkward, I figured I'll just bring it up and explain to you guys here. Most of you know, but for those of you who don't, I wrote a book called Embracing the Awkward. And in it, I talk about how to navigate those situations of shyness. When you're feeling insecure, when you don't know what to say, how to kind of go back in, close your eyes, focus on your breathing so that you can calm your nerves and you don't feel as nervous by focusing on your breath. I talk about that. I talk about my own experiences, my own life stories in this book, and just essentially how to navigate school, life, and relationships, which I feel are 3 of the big components of your life right now. So I would highly recommend checking out the book, Embracing the Awkward. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you can really learn from it. But let's get to point number 5 here, guys. What time is it? I think we're already at we're at 5 more minutes for the hour. Okay. Let's jump into point number 5. Point number 5 is this. Will you have a hardcover of the book? There won't be a hardcover version. It's going to stay a paperback, but I'm in the process of trying to get the audiobook done. So hopefully there will be an audiobook version read by me, which is, I think, the best thing when books are read by the author. Josh, I'd love to order your book. Where can I buy it? Clickfire. or for anyone else, I saw you deleted the message, but that's okay. But anyone else who's interested in the book, just go to thejoshspeaks.com/awkward. I'll type it out here. joshspeaks.com/awkward. Dono shared it. Check out the link there that Dono shared, guys. Okay, point number 5. 5 ways to stop rejection from destroying your confidence. Getting rejected forces you to build resilience. This is an important one, guys. Building resilience. Now, what does that mean to build resilience? Well, when you're in a situation where you experience something new and it's scary and you don't know how to handle it, but you live through it, you recognize that, hey, you know what? My life isn't over. Yes, it sucked, but I wake up for another day. I can move forward. That's building resilience. You're starting to realize that, hey, look, scary things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. I'm going to get rejected. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get told I'm ugly. All these things are going to happen, right? Like, this is life. These things are going to happen. But they don't have to define who I am. They don't have to force me to change. They don't have to control how I feel and how I interact with others. You can build that resilience by recognizing that you are unmovable. The world is going to move around you. And the reason why the world is going to move around you is because you know who you are and you know what you bring to the table. Look, and I say this, you watching this right now, you bring something to the table that no one else can. Your experiences, your thoughts, your feelings, everything that you've ever encountered affects how you interact with people and how you talk to them. So, if you've had experiences growing up that were fun and interesting, those are wonderful stories to share. If you've had experiences where you've had your heart broken, or someone's betrayed you, or, broken your trust, then you know what to look for. You know how to handle those moments because you've lived through them. And we build that resilience the more we get rejected, as odd as that is. So we can look at constantly getting rejected as a sign that, hey, you know what? Every time I get rejected, I suck more and more. Or we can look at it like, hey, every time I get rejected, it shows me what I want. It helps define and sharpen that stone so I have a better understanding of the type of partner I deserve. Because you deserve someone that's caring and loving and all the things that you look for. And the important piece is for you to bring those qualities to the table too. So I want you guys to really, really think about that, guys. Jump back into point number 5 and I'll show you guys again. Getting rejected forces you to build resilience. The more you get rejected, the more you hear no's, the easier it becomes for you to kind of navigate through the world. Look, if you've never been rejected before by anyone in your life, then that first time is going to be scary and it's going to be hard. But if you've been rejected enough times, you start to realize, getting rejected isn't the end of the world. I can move forward. I can pursue someone new. I can talk to a new crush. I'm not broken because I'm whole. I am whole because I know who I am. And I want you guys to really, really think about that here, guys. I want to jump in and I want to answer a few more questions before I bring it kind of to a close, guys, here. Before I do that, I just want to say this. Right after this live stream, if you're not already following me over on Instagram, you got to be following me over on Instagram, guys. The reason is because I do my Instagram after party right after this stream. Once the stream ends, we head on over to the after party and we party over there. And what I do in the after party is, if you want to jump on and video chat with me, I do that. I bring you guys on to talk, ask questions, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's an awesome, cool place. All the cool kids are invited, including you. So definitely follow me over on Instagram. Join the Instagram after party right after this stream. Okay. A Gamer says, Josh, did you get that girl's permission to use her on your thumbnail? So that's a good question. People have been asking, where do you get the pictures for your thumbnails and stuff? Like I said, there's a website called Pexels, right? Or Pexels or Unsplash and stuff. And what happens is photographers will have their photos that they use and they put it on these Creative Commons sites, right? They give it the Creative Commons license, which means that people can use and redistribute and kind of take their work and their pictures and use it in their own creative things. So that's what I essentially do. I'll use the pictures from Pexels over in my thumbnails. So if you guys have seen like my faces and stuff next to some random girl, I usually find pictures on there. I'll search like girl texting or something like that so I can use it in there. So that's how I kind of make my thumbnails and everything like that. let's see. Jen's, I forgot how you said you pronounce your name. It's not Jen's. It's Jens? I forgot what you said. I apologize. It says, my crush uses the excuse that she doesn't want to be in a relationship because she thinks she'll be too restrained from her freedom. How do I convince her? That's a good question. So if the person that you like, doesn't want to jump into a relationship because they don't want to be restrained from, like their freedom to be restrained, you have to think about what it is that you want. Do you want a singular monogamous relationship with this person? And if that's what they want too, then you guys are on the same page. But if they're not on that, if they don't want that, if they feel like, I just want to casually date right now, you have to ask yourself, are you okay with that? Because you may say, you know what, let's casually date now. And in a month, in 2 months, if you don't want to settle down and become boyfriend or girlfriend, then I'm going to move on. You have to kind of understand what you want going into it. And if you want to convince them, then a big part of that is letting them know what you stand, letting them know what you want, and then still flirting with them and joking and talking and pursuing and getting closer, because they may come around. They may start to see like, you know what? I'm okay with being in a relationship. It doesn't actually infringe on my freedom. But you need to let them know what you want in the beginning, rather than just saying, oh, no, that's cool. Yeah, we don't have to go out, when in reality, that's what you actually want to do. All right, I'm going to answer one more question before I jump in and review the 5 points again, guys. Clickfire says, the beauty is that there is truly an unlimited number of new people to meet and who can love you and will love you. Yes, I love that so much, Clickfire, and it's true. There's so many people in this world, so many people that you have yet to meet. And if you're hung up on that one person because they rejected you and your confidence is just in the gutter, like I said, you need to walk through these 5 points with me again, guys. I'm going to answer one more question here. Rafi says, Josh, if I send you a DM, how much should I go into details? Past interactions and stuff. Sending the first text to the class crush is where I'm at. Rafi, yep, shoot me a DM and stuff. And if you send me a DM, or if you're talking about sending them a DM, shoot me a DM. I'll try to answer it. Let me know a little bit of the situation. I'll try to respond there. Okay, last question before I jump in, guys. Stay Curious says, let's see, Andrew says, wait, just Google the question and this channel came up. Do you do this stuff often? So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of my web traffic comes from Google as well. So chances are, if you Google certain topics that are related to my videos, they'll pop up. Okay, Stay Curious says, Josh, how do you deal with the heart and the brain wanting different things? This is a good question. Sometimes your heart is directing you and leading you towards someone that you just are really attracted by. You think they're so pretty and so cute and so awesome. But your brain is telling you, you know what? Maybe they hang out with a bad group of people, or maybe they're really not a nice person, or maybe they think of me only as a friend. In order to kind of balance what your heart and your brain want, you need to kind of, like I said, go back to your values. What matters to you? And ask yourself, what type of partner do I want? If you can write out a list of the things you want in a partner, ask yourself, does this person meet that criteria? And if they don't meet the criteria, then they're not worth pursuing. It doesn't matter how hot you think they are, because there's no point in being in a relationship with someone that's super hot if you feel like they're just going to be a bad partner. It's not worth your time, and you deserve better than that. Okay, let's jump in here to the 5 points again. Epic says the 2 dislikes are people who got rejected hard. Probably, maybe they don't agree with me, or maybe they got annoyed that the stream lagged before. Oh, it's okay. All right, let's jump in, guys. Let's review these 5 points. We're talking about 5 ways to stop rejection from destroying your confidence. And this is what they are. Number 1, your values just don't align with theirs. If you encounter someone that you like, but they don't like you back, it's easy to feel like there's something wrong with you, that you're bad, you're broken in some way. But a lot of times, it's just because what you're looking for in a relationship is different from what they're looking for. And that's okay. It's okay to have different values and different interests in what you're looking for in a partner. So don't feel like you're not good enough just because you don't match what they're looking for. It's okay to recognize, hey, instead of looking at yourself and saying, I suck, look at it and say, they are looking for someone different, and it's not what I bring to the table. Number 2, guys. They rejected you out of uncertainty or fear. Look, we always think that our crush rejects us because there's something wrong with us, right? We did something wrong. We're weird. We're creepy. We're ugly. We're stupid. We're short. Whatever it is, we always think that we did something wrong. But sometimes people reject you because they don't know what they want. They don't feel secure with themselves. They have their own insecurities. They lack confidence. And because they feel that way, they may not be ready for a relationship with you. So instead of always assuming that, the burden and the problem falls on you, recognize that sometimes people are struggling with their own things, including your crush. Your crush is human. Your crush has their own experiences, and your crush has their own moments of insecurity and doubt. So don't ever assume that they got it all figured out and they just don't like you. Recognize that they may have a different feeling or opinion on the situation. And sometimes to help with that might mean taking more time to get to know them. This is what I always tell you guys. Learn about their hobbies and their interests. Share your own personal hobbies and interests with them. Talk about stories from your life, fun things you've encountered. The more you can share about yourself and the more you can learn about them, the easier it's going to be for them to come around, and they may go from rejecting you to actually wanting to date you. Number 3, their opinion isn't the only one that matters. We spend so much time hung up sometimes on what one person thinks. My crush doesn't like me because they think I'm too short. My crush doesn't like me because they're just, I don't know, they think I'm stupid. Whatever it is. But the key is to recognize that they're one person in billions that exist out there, guys. You have friends, you have family, you have people in your life that care about you, that see who you are, that see the real you. And just because your crush may not see that doesn't mean that it's not there, right? We sometimes allow our confidence to rest on how the person we like thinks about us. And look, Stuart said it too. Everyone brings something to the table, your experiences and feelings and opinions. Absolutely. Like, we're all so unique in that way, and it's important to learn how other people think and feel. So if your crush doesn't like you, all right, good riddance, move on. There are more people that want to get to know who you are and that are worth getting to know who you are, because you're cool, you're awesome, you bring something interesting to the table. Okay, point number 4, guys. Epic says, if a pregnant woman giving birth, then are the charges pressed on a baby? I don't know about that one. That's a deep philosophical question. We should talk about that in the Discord in the after party, guys. Side note, if you are part of the Discord, you'll see that after the Instagram after party, I jump on and I like to chat with you guys for a little bit. So it's a little side note. Don't tell anyone, all right? It'll be between you and me. Okay, point number 4, rejection creates an opportunity for reflection. If you're constantly getting rejected, if people are constantly in your life telling you, you're not good enough, I don't like you, and you keep experiencing the same thing over and over, then it's possible that you're not reflecting on what went wrong. Maybe you keep asking your crush out the same way. Maybe you keep being too straightforward, too open without taking time to get to know them. So what I want you to really do is to reflect on what you can do differently, to reflect on what you can work on. Maybe it's being more open about yourself. Maybe it's sharing new things or telling people about the things that you like. The more you can put yourself out there, the easier it might be for them to get to know you. So that's what I really would recommend, guys. Reflecting on those moments of rejection when you feel like, wow, this person doesn't like me. What can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? And number 5, guys, getting rejected forces you to build resilience. When you get rejected by someone and you constantly are dealing with it, guys, oh boy, I see all the Discord spam. Guys, join the Discord. No need to spam the word Discord, but join it. When you get rejected, it forces you to build resilience. As you experience more new things, more new experiences, and getting rejected is one of them, you start to become more grounded, more understanding that, hey, getting rejected isn't the end of the world. Tomorrow's another day, and I can wake up and I can try something new. So the more you can kind of overcome that fear of rejection and just put yourself out there and go for it and try it and ask that person out and see how it goes. The more you can do that, the easier it becomes for you to build resilience. The easier it becomes for you to realize that it's not the end of the world and that you still have what it takes to be somebody great. So guys, those are the 5 points, the 5 ways to stop rejection from destroying your confidence. I think you guys know what time it is. It is time for a mindful moment, guys. I have my meditation bell here. Like I said, after this, we're jumping on Instagram, so go follow me over there. And what I like to do, for those of you that know, you know what's coming. For those that don't, I like to end my streams with by hitting this bell and having 10 seconds of just silence for us to reflect on the things we talked about in this stream, to reflect on what we learned, reflect on any thoughts and feelings that came up as we were having our conversation here, guys. So we've talked about rejection not affecting your confidence. And I think the way to build that confidence is you need to recognize that life is going to bring you wins and losses. And those losses end up being learning experiences. So I want everyone in the stream right now to close your eyes. We're going to close our eyes together. I want us each to take a deep breath and to recognize that if your confidence isn't where you want it to be, if you feel like your confidence is in the gutter, it's running on low right now, you can replenish that. You can build it back up by recognizing that life is going to bring you opportunities. It's going to bring you a lot of opportunities. And the key is to put yourself out there and see where they take you. That's how you're going to build your confidence, guys. I want you to close your eyes and think about yourself just beaming with confidence right now. Think about you in your most confident state. You in a state where you feel ready and secure and ready for what the world has to bring you. Think about that confident state as we take our mindful moment, guys. Whew. I feel good. I have a good feeling of energy right now. I feel like my most confident state will be just recognizing that no haters, no doubters can stand in my way, that I'm delivering a message that I know is helping people and nothing's going to bring me down. I want you to think about your confidence state, guys. And what I want you to do is, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video. If you're watching the replay, check out the videos over there on the side. I think those videos will be super, super helpful for you guys. Thank you again for being a part of this live stream. Thank you for dealing with all the technical downtime stuff, but we're here. We got through the points, and I'll see you guys over on Instagram. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace. See you guys then.